Good afternoon. This is Tyler Stanfield with the National Weather Service in New Orleans, here to bring you a weekly weather briefing on the going-ons of the area for the next week. All right, giving a quick situation overview for our area. The tropics remain busy across the Atlantic, but we don't anticipate any major impacts to our area over the next 7 days. However, we'll get into obviously the logistics of every system that's going on out there and any kind of trouble that could, be down in the horizon. That being said, our current focus is going to be on the dangerous heat and critical fire weather conditions that are occurring across our area. And this will continue into the weekend and into at least Monday of next week. So that being said, it's a good reminder that there is a burn ban out and that outdoor burning is prohibited because these kind of fires can get out of hand very quickly. So please be vigilant and not partake in any kind of burning outside for the safety of firefighters and other local officials and the public. As far as improvement from those conditions go, we do see some potential for reprieve by the middle of next week as that high pressure moves off to the west, but we'll get into that here in a second. Giving an overview of the tropical weather outlook, we have our system over in the Northwest Caribbean that we're keeping an eye on that now has a 60% chance of development over the next 7 days. This system will be the one to watch as it enters the Gulf of Mexico. But as of right now, we don't expect any kind of major impacts to our area other than maybe some increased chances of rain by early to mid next week, say Tuesday, Wednesday. As far as other systems go, Franklin is expected to stay well offshore of the East Coast and not be a threat to our area. And the other two systems are going to stay way out to sea and not be a threat to our area either. So that being said, getting into the hazards that we have currently out there right now, we do have an excessive heat warning in effect today for those hazardous heat indices and high temperatures. We also have a red flag warning in effect that continues for majority of the North Shore along I-10, I-12, and these kind of conditions are expected to expand tomorrow. So we are expanding the red flag warning to St. James, Assumption, and St. John tomorrow. And for tomorrow as well, we will have a heat advisory in effect as those heat indices do come down slightly, but will be still relatively elevated near 110 degrees, at least through Friday and into the weekends. So that being said, we're probably going to see more heat headlines to come this weekend. So just looking at the dangerous heat by the numbers, we expect high temperatures to remain near 100 and getting as high as 103 to 105 in some areas this weekend. So well within that heat advisory to excessive heat warning criteria. And those heat indices also will be right around 110. So it's important to stay hydrated and really try to avoid those peak heating hours of the day if you're having to be outside at all. Stay in the shade, wear light clothing, and try to protect yourself from those heat-related illnesses because they can really catch up with you really quickly. Talking about the heat itself, it's been a record-shattering summer in many aspects. This level of intense and long-lived dangerous heat is pretty rare. And just to give a kind of context for that, we now have 2023 ticking up 3 of the top 5 longest streaks of 100-degree days in both Baton Rouge and New Orleans. And today is the 27th day of 100-degree temperatures in Baton Rouge. The record is 28, so we're going to be beating that very soon. And we've already shattered it in New Orleans with 14 days of 100-degree temperatures. The prior record was 5. So it's safe to say that this year has been very historic. And by historic, you're also, historic heat, you're also going to be dealing with the historic dryness that comes along with it usually. And unfortunately, our drought is expanding, and now we have severe to extreme drought across most of our area. And unfortunately, with the lack of substantive rainfall to occur in the next week or two, it doesn't look like there's going to be very much improvement in that time. So to recap, the tropics are busy, but for the most part, we don't expect any kind of major impacts to our area over the next 7 days. But as you know, it is peak hurricane season. It's important to stay tuned for further updates. Make sure that you're on top of what's going on in the tropics. As far as the dangerous heat goes, it's going to continue, unfortunately, through the weekend and into early next week. And along with that, we'll be dealing with the fire weather conditions that remain critical during this period. So it's important. Please do not burn anything. It is prohibited. There is burn bans out for a reason, and that is because these kind of fires can get out of control very quickly. So that being said, too, we do have a potential for some reprieve by early next week, more of like the middle of next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. As that tropical system moves northward, we can get some increased rain chances, as well as the high pressure starts to move a little bit to the west. So hopefully we get some sort of improvement from that. But as of right now, that's still, towards the end of our forecast range. So stay tuned on that. And with that being said, the weather service is out. See you later.